So.
And we're mom and pop shop. We're independently owned.
Literally mom and pop. I'm mom. He's pop.
There we go.
We have 3 kids.
How's it going, guys? My name is Mark, and this is my wife, Dani.
Hi.
And together we own Back to the Media. And we are located in Winchester, Virginia. We are a record store, and we also sell video games, comic books, and a little bit of everything, really. But one of our main focuses is vinyl records. And we wanted to make an intro video together to show you some of our favorite records that we have in our own collection. And we plan to actually do more of these videos. If you guys like these videos, we plan to do some more videos like this and show you some stuff from our collection, show you some collections that we buy for the store, and you know, maybe take you on a couple of our record digs. So, but together we had an idea that we were going to show you our top 10 albums, and we kind of have like 13 or 14 each, but
yeah, it's a very tough decision to narrow out of your collection 10 of them that are your key favorites.
That's right. It's very hard to get 10 records. Like, you know, I have almost every Led Zeppelin album, and I could easily put them at like number 1 through 8 if I was gonna pick up, you know, the best albums that are probably of all time. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you basically our top 10 albums in our collection. Now, not meaning like the top 10 albums of all time, but just the 10 that
our personal choices of the top 10 albums if we had to pick.
Right. So, and some of these are based on whether we like the artist or not, or whether we found it for a great deal or something, or, you know, there was a cool backstory with it. But these are some of the records that I tend to grab the most and put on my turntable. And we just wanted to show you guys that and introduce ourselves and let you know a little bit of what we're about. So I'll go ahead and get us started. I'm gonna show one, and then Dani's gonna show one. And we both love vinyl. We love it a lot. You know, we actually have probably over 1,000 records in our own collection. And
it's growing all the time.
Daily, yeah. I mean, we try to not get high on our own supply, so to say, but you know,
it's very tough.
It's very tough when you're around it a lot, you know, during the day, you know, records coming in and everything. And I know we follow some other record stores around the country. A shout out to Dylan at Noble Records. He's in North Carolina. We follow his channel. If you have not seen his channel, follow his channel.
He actually inspired him.
Yeah, he inspired us to get a channel going ourselves. Get this
rolling, yeah.
So, because we're always finding records too. He's always finding records. The stuff he finds is fantastic. And his collection is just mind-blowing. So, shout out Dylan at Noble Records. Follow his channel.
We'll link it below for you.
Yeah, we'll link it below because he's cool and he inspired us to do a little something like this. So, anyway, we're going to get this thing started here. One of the first albums I'm going to show is, this is like an iconic album. I think everyone should have it in their own collection. This is Kiss Alive. And this is one of my favorite sets here, just because they sound so great. Opens up. This is a gatefold, and they sound so great. Like, I'm not the world's biggest Kiss fan, but I do like Kiss, and I seen them for the first time last year. And
we were 9 rows from the stage.
Yeah, we were 9 rows from the stage.
I wasn't even a fan, but
yeah, she didn't even like Kiss, but
no.
I got tickets, and we got 9 rows back from center. Actually, Gene Simmons was like right in front of us.
It was awesome,
and it was just mind blowing. So once you see that, it'll make you a Kiss fan. So
that's what happened with me.
And again, I had this album before I went to the show, obviously, but once I seen them live, it just really
they're amazing.
They're amazing.
They
yeah,
put
just blew us away. So that's one of my favorite records there. You want to show one of yours?
Yeah. One of my favorites is, let me get it here.
There you go.
Starfish by The Church. They are an amazing kind of post-punk, new wave.
Post-punk, sort of goth, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
This depends on how you want to genrelize it, but they're very good.
Amazing. We have Destination, Under the Milky Way, which is probably what a majority of you have heard from them. But I mean, we have Reptile, Hotel Womb. I mean, the whole record. I really can't pick a favorite, but I love The Church. I have quite a few from them, and they are definitely one of my favorites that I have just came to to listen to lately.
Kind of a new band that we've actually both gotten into.
They're not they're not new, but it's
like a new band to us.
Right.
New to
my
us.
love of The Cure has brought me into checking out.
Everyone knows The Cure, Slick Furs, but the Church always gets kind of left out of conversations. But
very underrated. If you like The Cure or Echo and the Bunnymen, I mean, you need to check out The Church.
Get that album.
They're amazing.
A good one. Next one on my list, I'm going to show here is Jimmy Cliff. This is Harder They Come soundtrack.
Oh, such a good soundtrack.
This is amazing. Oh. Like I've always been a fan of like reggae in general.
It's good reggae.
But this album from front to back, you can put it on and it just rips. Like I love this album and find myself listening to it at least probably once a month.
I've never seen the movie though.
I haven't seen the movie yet either. I'll be honest, I have not seen the movie yet.
We love the soundtrack. But we haven't
amazing.
seen the movie.
I've not seen the movie
how many
yet.
of you can say that?
Right. But, I mean, you get songs on here. You Can Get It If You Really Want by Jimmy Cliff. That's just the classic by Jimmy. And it's a lot of other groups actually
Rivers of Babylon.
Here. The Harder They Come by Jimmy Cliff. Let me see here. The Slickers. Desmond Decker is on here. And, there's a lot of songs by Jimmy Cliff. And I just love this album. It's got a lot of really great songs on it. If you have not heard this, definitely check it out. This is Jimmy Cliff, The Harder They Come.
And my next one is going to be Dog and Butterfly by Heart.
Classic.
I grew up, my mom played this for me all the time when I was little, and a lot of my musical choices have carried on with me to adulthood, just thanks to my mom pretty much bringing me up on the absolute best. And it's such an amazing album. Of course, it's got Dog and Butterfly, which is one of my all-time favorite songs. Mistral Wind, which is fantastic. Kind of like an ethereal sound to it, and I just love the artwork. But you can't go wrong with Heart. It was really hard for me to pick one album from them because they are one of my all-time favorites. And it just, I was holding it sideways here. It just made sense to pick Dog and Butterfly just because of the sentimentality that I have for this one.
They're a great band. I mean, all their albums are just
amazing.
Heart's albums are just great. I mean, they're like the
maybe a little strange
female Led Zeppelin in a way.
Oh my gosh, their cover. If you've never heard their cover of Stairway to Heaven when they did the Kennedy Center Honors, I swear it gives me goosebumps every single time I hear it. It's amazing.
Next one I'm going to show here is this is Misfits American Psycho, and this album to me this is a great album. It gets a lot of flack, gets ragged on a lot because it's not
Michael Graves.
Yeah, because it's not a Danzig era. Don't get me wrong, I have all the Danzig era LPs in my collection. I'm a big fan. I even have Danzig solo stuff. But this album, when I was a teenager, I had gotten this album. I went to Circuit City. Rest in peace, Circuit City. And I was wanting to get into the Misfits, and this was the only album they had there, so I got it. And I didn't know the whole history at this point. I was only like 15, and I did not know the history of they had two singers and all this kind of stuff. So I got this album, and I wore this album out. I loved it, and I was a big fan of this album. And then of course I went and got the Collection 1, Collection 2 of the Misfits. Walk Among Us, Static Age, all that fantastic stuff. But I was gonna just basically spotlight this album a little bit because it just means something to me. This is the original press of this, by the way, and I did get Michael Graves to sign it. We had him at our store twice actually, and he's
such a nice guy.
He's a great guy. He performed acoustically in the store. It's very cool.
Amazing.
Some of you guys watching this might have been there. If you did, drop a comment.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know if you made the shows that we had when we had Graves at the store. Again, this is Misfits American Psycho. Great album. And it's, if you're looking to get into the second era of the Misfits, check this one out. Again, I like both eras. And even like Jerry Only's era. I've seen them live with Jerry. Of course, it wasn't as great as what, some of these other ones are. But definitely worth checking out if you have not before.
My third pick is going to be Queensryche Empire. This is not an original press, of course. I would love an original press.
If you have an original press,
I will buy it.
Yeah.
I will buy it from you.
And if it's for sale, she wants it more than anything.
I would love to have. I am becoming one of those
so hard to find.
That I really love original presses of records. I know it kind of sounds like a little bit like vinyl purist, I guess, if that's a thing.
Vinyl snob.
A vinyl
that
snob.
word gets
I
used
am a vinyl.
sometimes.
You know what? I'm a vinyl snob.
It's cool. It's
But,
cool.
you know,
Gotta have original press sometimes. You know.
But what I love is it's on this super sweet clear wax.
Very cool.
But people always say that Operation Mindcrime is like their best album, but I highly disagree. I mean, every single song on this one from start to finish, I don't ever have to like skip or fast forward what I'm listening to, even the CD. I mean, The Thin Line is one of my absolute favorites. This has Silent Lucidity. For those of you Supernatural fans, I actually watched the music video, and so many comments were on YouTube were like, Supernatural brought me here. And apparently I'm not, I've maybe watched 2 episodes of Supernatural, but I did search out the episode that Silent Lucidity was on, and they nailed the whole mood for it. But it's got Empire, Hand on Heart, Jet City Woman, which is another big hit. I grew up, this is another album I grew up on.
Your mom had this, didn't
she? I don't think she had the record. She had the tape.
Yeah.
She had the cassette tape.
This one's hard to find on record. If you got it, that's a good piece.
And if you're into Queensryche but you've never checked out their full album, this one is absolutely amazing. One of my top favorites.
My next album I'm going to show here is not necessarily one that I listen to the most, but it's one of the favorite records that I own. And this is a Castlevania soundtrack here, and it's like 8-bit music put out by Moonshake Records. And the reason why I like it so much is that it has a London Calling, kind of like a parody here.
He's a big Clash fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge Clash fan. So whenever this came out, like I was like, I gotta have this.
It's just super
Moonshake
cool
was
looking.
they were just knocking it out of the park with this thing. And the vinyl itself is just beautiful. Like I think it's really cool. It's got this like white and pink splatter, which looks really rad. And this is pretty hard to find. It's out of print. They only made 666 copies of it. So this is number 616. And again, this is done up just like London Calling, but it's got Simon Belmont here, like throwing the whip, just kind of like Paul from the Clash there, smashing the bass. And it looks really cool. It's one of my favorite records I'd have. And the music's great too if you like 8-bit, video game soundtracks.
Which kind of ties into the idea of our store where it kind of blends music and video games, records and video games together. So.
Right, because we are big vinyl collectors and big vinyl people, but we also are big video gamers as well. So that's why we started Back to the Media, because we just wanted to kind of carry everything that we were into, as well as comic books, and that's a whole other story. But we're just really into that, classic physical media, and that's what we celebrate here.
My next one is, let me get it out of the sleeve here.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
That should be in everyone's top 10.
This is an original press as well. This is one of my all-time favorite Metallica albums. Master of Puppets, Cliff Burton, R.I.P. One of my favorite Metallica songs is Orion. And I know that's might be an odd choice because there's no singing in it, but I think it's amazing.
It's a great track. The instrumental is just
it's the way that they compose the whole thing together is just outstanding. But I mean, this one has Battery on it, Leper Messiah, Disposable Heroes,
Damage and Corporate
Sanitarium. I mean,
every song's a classic on that album.
It's amazing, and I think this should be in everybody's top 10.
If you think this isn't,
it's Metallica. I mean,
if you think it should be in everyone's top 10, drop a comment. Let us know because we agree with you.
It's amazing. I'll get the wax.
This is original too.
Yeah, it's an original press.
Electro. Very cool.
There it is. So cool.
Next one here, we were just talking about the Clash. This Clash self-titled right here. This is original press, one of my favorite albums. I can't really say if I like this one. I mean, I love London Calling. Don't get me wrong, it's a masterpiece. But this one, they sound a little more raw on here, a little more punk. Classic songs,
White
Clash,
Riot.
Yeah, White Riot,
Love
Clash
that
City
one.
Rockers. Janie Jones is another great one. Career Opportunities. I love every song on here. Police and Thieves. It's a nice cover by, I think, Junior Mervin. A little bit of like a reggae feel. And it's got I Fought the Law on here. Another cover. So many great songs on this album.
If you're getting into the Clash, it's recommended that you check this one out.
Start here.
It's a great starter record.
Yeah, don't start with like Cut the Crap, which is a later album of theirs that's just not as great. I still like it, but I like all the Clash records. But this is a good one because it just rips from start to finish. And if you like this, you probably even like Joe Strummer's later career with
the Mescaleros.
Yeah, Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros.
Amazing.
A lot of great stuff there too. We have those albums as well, and they're very good. It's hard to pick a top 10, but if I had to grab one, I always got to reach for this one. So check that one out.
My next one is going to be
Siamese Dream.
Siamese Dream. This is an original press, straight out of 1993. One of the reasons why, I mean, besides the track list on here, that I love this album is it has this, if I can get it out here, it has this gorgeous
orange marble.
It's like orange. I call it peach. I call it peach color.
Peach?
It's
okay.
kind of like a peach tangerine colored wax, but it is just absolutely gorgeous. It's a 2 LP set. We actually saw the Smashing Pumpkins last year, and they put on such a amazing
show.
I say amazing is like my favorite word tonight. They put on such an awesome show, and it was the whole lineup except for Darcy, but all the original members. But this has Cherub Rock on here. Today, they opened with Today when we saw them, which was amazing. Disarm, Space Boy, Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is one of my favorite songs. But it's just an awesome album. One of my favorites next to Melancholy. We don't have Melancholy yet.
Don't have a copy of Melancholy.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because
we can order one, I think.
Yeah, we love Smashing Pumpkins.
Set, 4 LP, I think.
But this one here, I love.
And this was an original press too. Actually, I thought this was an import for the longest time.
We did because of the colored wax.
Yeah, and then I ran the numbers on Discogs, and it was an original 1993. So I was really surprised about that. So that was cool. That actually got traded into the store, and we had to keep that one.
Because we're such huge Smashing Pumpkins fans. Love them.
Another one here is Sublime, 40 Ounce to Freedom. This album means a lot to me personally. I've been listening to it for a long time, ever since high school, obviously. And I like this release because it's a pink and yellow vinyl. Pretty cool. It's got the sun on here. And this, I think, was like an 05 release that they did. I don't have an original. If you do have an original, drop a comment. Let us know if you got one. I'd like to know. I'd like to buy it if it's for sale. I don't have Sublime across here on the originals. I think it's just white with the sun. So, very cool album. And I listen to this a lot, like just from front to back. And I've been a big Sublime fan. I like Stand By Your Van. I like the self-titled, obviously. Even Robin the Hood's okay. It's not, in my opinion, not one of their greatest ones, but I do enjoy that one a lot. But I think this one's my favorite. So 40 Ounce to Freedom.
My next one is going to be the Moody Blues, Days of Future Past. This is one of my favorite albums, I think, of all time. I love them. I love the Moody Blues. I know this is part of they have all of their records. There's like 7 or 8 of them, and they are called the Core 7 or Core 8 if you count the 8th one. But this one, such a cool concept that they did. They're kind of like the pioneers of progressive rock. But this album, what I love most about it is it kind of combines rock with like an orchestra. Especially with Nights in White Satin, which is on here. But the cool thing with this album is it pretty much goes through the course of a day. You start with, the day begins, and then dawn, and then, morning, and then it goes to like Tuesday afternoon before it progresses into Nights in White Satin, which is such a beautiful song. I could listen to it for forever and never get sick of it. But this is probably like my 4th copy. Every time
she keeps upgrading.
I kid you not. There's just certain records that you always see. You have to grab. And I always, every time I see a copy of Days of Future Past, I feel like I have to rescue it. Like, every time it needs a home with me because it will get loved.
That's with me in 40 Ounce to Freedom.
Yeah.
Every single time I see a copy of it on CD, cassette, record, which never happens, of course. But
you need to come home.
Yeah, just like I gotta collect them all, and I don't know. I guess are we the only ones like that, or anybody out there that's like that?
Is there a certain record, or album or CD where every single time you see it, whether it be at a record show
or a flea market
or
you're like, that's only 50 cents.
Your local music shop, where you're like, gosh, I don't care. I have to have 15 copies, of Moody Blues, Days of Future Past. Like me, I will be that chick that will literally have 50 copies of Days of Future Past because I love it so much.
Go visit our store. If you see 50 copies of this in the bin at our store, it's because she's been grabbing every one that comes across.
And every single one that I see is nicer than the other. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, there you go. She'll be keeping the nicest of the 1 out of 50, though, I'm sure.
That's
how she rolls.
That's how I roll.
Another one here, Misfits, Walk Among Us. This, I believe, is a second press on Ruby. And the first press of this is like pink background. And it's very valuable. I've never had that one. This is the closest I've gotten to it. This is a great album, of course. Misfits debut, and there's so many good songs on here. If you like the Misfits, I Turned Into a Martian's on here. Skulls is on here. Astro Zombies, Brain Eaters. There's so many good ones. Nike A Go Go, and I've always been a big fan of any kind of like horror themed punk stuff, so I really like this album, and if you haven't ever listened to this, definitely check it out. It is quite different than the later Misfits that I just showed earlier. It's more raw and more gritty, I guess you could say. And we actually met Doyle, which was cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah, we got to meet Doyle.
Super intimidating.
Yeah, super intimidating.
He's really tall.
Yeah,
he's really tall.
He's a great guy, though. We actually supplied. He wanted. I knew a friend that used to be like a road manager through the '90s Misfits era, and he was able to get us basically kind of like backstage access, and he signed some albums for us. Doyle did, and in return, we actually supplied his kids some video games. They wanted some like PS4 games,
like Skylanders and stuff.
It was something like that.
So we got to go shopping for Doyle.
We got to go shopping for Doyle basically.
That's awesome.
And that was a cool story though.
He was very nice.
Now I've never met Glenn. Did meet Jerry one time at a show, and with Robo on drums when we seen them, but never met Glenn yet. But this was always a great album though. It's one of my faves. What else you got there?
Okay, my next one is kind of, I guess, unconventional in a way.
We got about 7 minutes, I think, left on this video. So we'll go quick.
Labyrinth. I love David Bowie. I love The Labyrinth. This is one of the best movie soundtracks, in my opinion, ever. I mean, you have, Underground. Underground, which has been my ringtone for like 3 years. My kids will hear it and say, "Mom, is that your phone?" But Magic Dance, my kids love Magic Dance. We love Davy Bowie in our house. But this is one of my all-time favorite movies. Such an excellent soundtrack. This is not an original press, although I have one coming to me. A very nice gentleman in one of the record groups I'm in offered to send me his original press of this Labyrinth record. So I'm super excited to get it in the mail. Until then, I have this copy that I listened to.
My next one here, I'm going to try to show you guys kind of quick because our tape limit is running out here. I guess it's not really a tape, but our Canon M50 has a 29-minute video length, I believe.
80s babies. We're still stuck on records and VHS tapes and cassettes.
Switch that VHS in there, that camcorder. This is the Garth Brooks set. We
love Garth Brooks.
Yeah, I listen to
No shame.
Yeah, no shame there. I listen to a lot of metal, a lot of punk stuff. But I don't know. I'm a big Garth Brooks fan. And
we saw him in State College too.
We did. This whole set had like all his classic '90s albums. It was missing his debut album, but I actually already had it.
Which is hard to find.
Which is very hard to find.
It's rare.
I got lucky and I found this for $1 one time at a flea market. It was just sitting in a box of other records. Picked this up. I was like, man, that is fantastic. And I did not know it was so hard to find. So I had that. And then this came out. We had to pick that up. So if you ever if you're ever like, well, I want to check out country music, but I don't know where to begin, there's a good spot to begin. Some people say start with Johnny Cash or this or that. But if you're wanting to start with like a 90s country,
90s
he kind of led the way.
It's
George Strait is another great one too.
Reba.
But again, I love Johnny Cash as well. A lot of that old classic country stuff. Johnny Paycheck. David Allan Coe. Like, there's a lot of great like classic. Willie Nelson. A lot of great classic country too. But Garth, a lot of songs, a lot of hits, and I'd say that's one of my favorite record sets.
My next one is going to be Robert Plant when he did his solo career. I love Led Zeppelin. I'm a huge Robert Plant fan. He actually took me for my birthday to see Robert Plant. I think it was 3 years ago. The most amazing concert ever. I said amazing again. Can't count. Comment below how many times I've said amazing. But I love Now and Zen is such a cool record. I mean, it's got Heaven Knows, Tall Cool One, Dance on My Own, Why, Ship of Fools. And what's cool is that his solo stuff still sounds, it's still got that Led Zeppelin edge to it if you listen to it. Like, it's just, it's so good. If you like Led Zeppelin, but you've never listened to Robert Plant solo stuff, I highly recommend checking out Now and Zen. And there's also, is it 66,000 miles to Timbuktu? There's a box. Yeah. There's a box set I have as well. It's not a record box set, but it's a CD box set, and it's super cool. But it's got a lot of his solo stuff compiled into one. But this right here is such a great one.
I'm gonna go ahead and show just the rest of my little pile here. I think I went through about 9 or 10 already, but and then I had some honorable mentions because we're running out of time here. The band Anthology. This is one of my favorites. I love the band. Everything they did for the most part. If you've ever seen the movie The Last Waltz, that's a great one. Mm-hmm. Another one here, Legend, Bob Marley.
Love Bob Marley.
I mean, every song on this album is just phenomenal. It's in my top 10, top 15, whatever you want to call it. Again, I'm just going to blaze through these because we're running out of time. Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind. This is another one that I just grabbed. One of my favorite songs is The Trooper. That's probably my all-time favorite song by Iron Maiden. It's on this album, so I always grab this album to listen to.
They are outstanding live as well. I've
seen them live as well. Yeah, they're great. Fantastic.
Bucket list concert for sure.
Grateful Dead. This is another one of I wouldn't say this is maybe my favorite Grateful Dead album, but this one is just because of the artwork, and it's in such great condition. This is original. I find myself listening to this one a lot, and it's just, there's a lot of good classics on here, and I really enjoy this one. And what else did I have here? Oh, okay. The Cult, Sonic Temple.
Huge Cult fans.
Huge Cult fan. That's a great one. Pink Floyd, The Wall. That should be in everyone's top 5, most likely. And we had a silver chair here that I thought was really cool.
The wax is super cool on this one.
The orange wax. And
with
it has
frog.
The frog on it. Check that out.
So cool.
Ain't that cool? That's one of our favorites as well. Mm-hmm. What else you got there that you want to show them?
I have some here. Of course, we have Echo and the Bunnymen. This is their self-titled. Has Lips Like Sugar on there. Love this one. Rush, Exit, Stage Left, and really, really good live concert record that's got all of their popular titles. Got YYZ, Passage to Bangkok, Closer to the Heart, Tom Sawyer, Xanadu, The Trees. Lots of really good ones on this one. Heart Little Queen. I love this record. It has Barracuda on it. Dream of the Archer, which is excellent, along with Little Queen. Joy Division. This is
a classic.
Unknown Pleasures. Somebody in a group I'm in told me that the first 10,000 were pressed on textured jackets, and this is a textured jacket, so that's pretty cool.
Wow.
This is an original press. The Cure, Disintegration. One of my top favorite albums of all time. It has Lullaby on there, Prayers for Rain, Plain Song, Love Song, Pictures of You, Disintegration, Same Deep Water as You, Sisters of Mercy, Floodland. I'm just now getting into them. They are excellent.
I think we picked like a top 20.
Yeah. And then, of course...
It was hard to pick 10.
It is. This David Bowie Japanese press, it has all of my favorites on it. I can't narrow it down to
cool.
a favorite Bowie album, so that's why I picked this one, because it's got all the good ones on it.
All right, guys. The last two I was gonna show here was the Mighty Mighty Bosstones, Devil's Night Out. This is their first album here, and I actually like More Noise and Other Disturbances. I actually like that album better than this one, but I don't have that one yet, so I was just gonna show you this one, and it's
The
on
other
this
side's really cool too.
Yeah, this is like a black and white colored wax on Tang Records. Thought that was pretty awesome. Definitely one of my favorites that I own.
That's an original press too, isn't it?
I think it is. Yeah, I think this was original.
Which is crazy.
I didn't think it was, but I ran the numbers and it was saying it is. If you know about this, comment. Let us know if you think that is. Pretty neat. So I like that one. And then, of course, Ride the Lightning. This is a classic. This is an original Elektra. And I find myself listening to this one all the time. Classic Metallica. Personally, I liked just about anything Metallica put out. I even like the Black Album. I even like Load and Reload. But... you know, those albums don't get the credit.
The Black Album's one of my favorites, honestly.
It's a great album.
I like their early stuff, but
yeah. It's way different than like what
Wherever I May Roam on it.
Yeah, that's a great song.
That's one of my favorites.
I mean, I like the Black Album. Do you like the Black Album? Let us know. Was Metallica good before the Black Album? And then were they terrible afterwards?
And what do you think about Saint Anger?
Yeah, what do you think about Saint Anger? You know, I listened to that recently. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I mean, the drums, you know, yeah, it sounds like a tin can. But, you know, it's all right. You know, I think it's cool. But, and that's what a lot of people say. Like, they think that...
Well, people feel the same way about when Jason Newsted came in as well. The Black Album, Garage. They think the same way about that, I guess we do, or I do about Saint Anger. They're not about it. They're about the... You know,
they want the thrash Metallica, but they don't like when Metallica slowed down and started making commercial sounding music, which
they sold out.
Yeah, you know, like whatever. It's personally, I like a lot of different types of music. As you can see, we both like a lot of different kinds of music from the records we chose to show you tonight. I love good
death metal too. Surprisingly,
yeah. I mean, she's got Amon Amarth.
I love Amon Amarth, Trivium, Parkway Drive, Whitechapel.
Right, Death.
I just got a bolt thrower tonight, so I'm excited about that.
She just got the bolt thrower off of somebody on a Facebook group.
Yeah.
But anyway, we thank you guys for watching, and we plan to do some more of these videos and show you some collection pickups here in the future.
Make sure you subscribe.
Make sure you like and subscribe if you like what we're doing.
We'll put all of our social media links in the information below.
Very right.
So you can follow us on Instagram. You can check out our store Facebook page.
That's right.
Our website, we have a website too, so.
Yeah, backtothemedia.com. We're on Instagram, Back to the Media, and Facebook / Back to the Media. And you can find us there. Again, our store's in Winchester, Virginia. We're in like a little walking mall down there with a lot of other cool little businesses and restaurants.
Like 35 different restaurants too, so.
And we're mom and pop shop. We're independently owned.
Literally mom and pop. I'm mom, he's pop.
There we
have 3 kids.
And basically, we've been in business since 2014, if you're just joining us. And these are some of our favorite records. Let us know some of your favorite records. Thanks for joining us.
What do you like listening to?
Exactly. What do you like to listen to? What kind of records do you like to shop for? We want to talk to you. So that's what we're putting this out here for. And maybe we'll get to see you around. Thanks for watching.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.